Self-checkout, frustrating or convenient? My wife's better at it than I am. I find it a little frustrating, but sometimes I can handle it. I'm a little older than a lot of folks, and so it's just not as intuitive to me all the time.
Customer service has really fallen by the wayside, and I think that is a lot to do with automating things. People just kind of forget how to treat each other.
I don't find that bag in your own grocery. I think that's a plus, because you put your things how you want to put them.
I was at a grocery store using one of those self-checkout machines. You know the one. A lot of people say that they have them in their stores. Almost everybody does. And it turns out a lot of people use them at least once in a while. Now, on one hand, the nerd in me says, this was cool. It was tech. It made things faster. I fumbled around a little bit. It made me frustrated for a moment. And then I realized, no, I like to talk to people, and I hadn't talked to anyone in this process. It turns out a lot of Americans describe that experience in those ranges too. Some say it's convenient, some say it's faster, but others say, well, no, it's harder and even frustrating. As we do here on America Unfiltered, we let people, including some who take our polls or want to share their voices, weigh in on topics of the day. I am joined now by Shayla and Michael. Let me start with you. Can you tell me about an encounter with customer service? Maybe it's a self-checkout where you were and how you felt as you were going through it?
Well, with the self-checkout, I feel like if I'm going to the store, I'm already paying for the service of getting everything taken care of, as far as not having to find the barcode or bag it myself.
Well, initially, I was going through the same issues as everyone else. It's difficult, it's confusing. How do I do this? But there are certain situations that I experienced myself. I got 1 or 2 items. The line is excessively long. There's only one cashier, and it's like 4 lines that are empty, and there's no cashier there. I do appreciate the self-checkout because I don't have to stand there that long just for a few items.
Shayla, one thing that you raised right away was you said you were already paying for something, and yet you felt like you were then doing something yourself on top of that.
I feel like they are trying to get me to replace an employee so they don't have to pay their wage, they don't have to pay for their insurance, 401k, whatever else. And it's honestly sort of greedy to me.
When you talk about the human interaction, and you've both raised it, what does that do? And is there an experience you can describe where a person in customer service helped you to solve a problem that you couldn't have done for yourself and that you wouldn't have been able to do just through a piece of technology, Shayla?
Personally, you never know if that person that's checking you out, you might meet them and just have that exchange one time. But if you keep coming back and you keep going through that line, you never know. That might be your future wife. I think that there are a lot of times when that human interaction, as small as that may be, is important in ways that we don't understand.
There's been several occasions where you go through a store and things aren't stocked. You don't see anything that resembles what's supposed to be in that section. And looking around, trying to find help and trying to find somebody that's going to be able to help you find this item or whatever the case is. There was an occasion where the items were not stocked and there was empty shelves. And I approached somebody and they immediately went to the back and they retrieved the item for me. So in those situations where you do have interaction with people, it is extremely helpful.
Do Americans talk to each other enough?
Nicely? No. But yeah, well, there definitely needs to be a little more human interaction, a little more kindness. And the more that you go out and you talk to people, the more you realize even though you might be different, you're all still human. We can all smile at each other. It's free.
I don't think our communication is where it should be at this point. I think we're regressing. Unfortunately, we find more reasons not to talk to each other than to talk to each other. And I still say, people ask me what's the best thing that I ever seen in my life, and the best thing that I ever seen ever was human kindness. And I agree, we need to get back to that.
I want to thank you both, Michael, Shayla, for sharing so many viewpoints, so many experiences and insights. Thank you both. So thank you for letting those folks share their views, and thank you for watching America Unfiltered. I'm Anthony Salvanto at CBS News.